So it's not been a great few days for, guards that were number one picks, because obviously the Indiana Fever were not great. But all I'm going to say is, as bad as the Fever were today, as bad as you guys thought the Indiana Fever were today, I mean this when I say this, Paige Bueckers, or bad as Caitlin Clark was, Paige Bueckers was so much worse for the Wings. Oh my God. Like, if you are a Paige hater, it was a great hate watch today. A great hate watch today. So the Dallas Wings benched Paige Bueckers. The coach benched Paige Bueckers for most of the second half, and they were down 20 when she went to the bench, and they nearly won. They nearly came back. They benched Paige Bueckers for basically the whole second half, and they almost came back to win the game. And if you guys think that is crazy, subscribe. We are trying to hit 20 or 47.3k subscribers by the end of the day. If we could do that, that would be absolutely incredible. But anyway, we've got to talk about it. We got to talk about this game because, honestly, we're seeing Carl Smesco, Tahina Paupau. Maybe she's just played too many games and he didn't want to play her that much. I rate Carl Smesco as a coach, but dear Lord, this Atlanta Dream game blows hot and cold. This Atlanta Dream team blows hot and cold. I mean, they nearly did it twice. They blew a 15-point lead and they nearly blew a 20-point lead. But Ryan Howard could not hit a shot. Of course, Ryan Howard, after balling out against the Indiana Fever, we go and we watch Ryan Howard shooting, having a freaking 2 of 12 shooting game. Like 2 of 12. Like, come on. 2 of 12? Bree Jones is good. Brittany Griner dominated, hit a big 3-point shot. And I thought Alicia Gray was fantastic as well. What did Alicia Gray end up with, actually? She ended up with 27. She was absolutely fantastic. The Atlanta Dream very much did not... they were by no means as locked for this game as they were for the Fever game. Like, if you watch these two games, it was like two different teams out there. Like, they were absolutely... Like, they didn't... It's not like they weren't trying, but they were just nowhere near as locked. Paige Bueckers, 4 of 15 from the field, 26%, minus 21 in an 8-point loss. And they were down 20 points, and they got it back to 10. Or sorry, they got it back to 7 when she came on, I think. She was minus 21. So whatever they got it back to, she came on at that. But they had it back to within 7. And realistically, getting it back to within 7 should have gotten them the dub. It should have, well, not got them the dub. It should have got them maybe back into the game a little bit. But the Indiana Fever, the starting five for the Wings, because it's last year's Indiana Fever team, the starting five does not work. And like, I'm not going to go out there and say, oh, Paige is a net negative on the team. But Arike with Paige versus Arike without Paige, it's like a different player. And I understand Arike was bad anyway. But Arike missed her first 7 shots. Like, on the day, Arike Gumbawale went and had 5 points. She had 5 points on the day, could not hit a 3-point shot. Maddie Seegers and Tiara McCown were hooping, in fairness to them. Maddie Seegers, I thought, was fantastic. Ty Harris was their best guard, again. Like, how many... And by the way, Charles was unbelievable. Like, Charles coming in that fourth quarter, they had a lineup with her on. I think they might have just given up on the game and they put in Kayla Charles. She was fantastic. She was absolutely fantastic. But something does not work with DeJounte and Alyssa Smith and Paige Bueckers on the floor at the same time. That starting five is horrendous. Like, Maisha Hines-Allen only playing 12 minutes in that game. I thought Tiara McCown was okay. Honestly, I thought she played well. But there's like... And I don't even think Alyssa Smith was bad. Like, what, she have 9 points in the end? Oh no, she had a lot more than 9, Jesus. She had 13 points in the end. She wasn't even that bad. The problem isn't whether she plays well or not. It's just like, literally, the team doesn't function when she's on the floor. And that can be a problem if a team just does not function when a team is when certain players are on the floor. Because that happens. That happens in basketball. And DeJounte and Alyssa Smith on the floor at the same time does not work. It does not work at all. DeJounte Carrington has been, in fairness, she's a good defender, but she's not been good. DeJounte has not been good today, or not been good so far this year. DeJounte has not been what was expected, and this was a really off game for Paige. Like, she had 5 assists, and again, like, she had 5 assists, 11 points on 15 shots, and the thing is, it was just passing to some shooters there down the stretch. Only 1 turnover, so the assist to turnover ratio people are going to say, oh, look, she had 5 assists to 1 turnover. Well, yeah, the funniest thing about those assist-to-turnover ratio people is the point guard currently has a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Caitlin's has doubled that, which is hilarious. But, like, there was nothing. I like the way she went head down. She had a decent first half. I like the way she went head down to the basket, first possession, second half. Then I'm not, like, other than one pull-up late in the game, I don't even think Paige looked at the basket down the stretch. Like, it was mad. It was just one of those weird games. It was one of those weird games looking at it, and you're like, this team is terrible, the Dallas Wings. The only reason the Dallas Wings did not get back into the game because of anything intricate. The Dallas Wings got back into the game because they were doing mad stuff and it worked. They were making dumb plays and it was going in. Shots were falling. They were doing crazy stuff and they were hitting shots. And if you're, like, that can happen in games. You can win a game by just making a complete carnage. And the Atlanta Dream really switched off. They really did. Then Maya Caldwell hit a freak in. Kawhi Leonard, ball bouncing around the rim, 3-point shot to ice the game. And yeah, it was a really, really bad. Again, I didn't watch the first quarter. And again, Paige, I think, what did she have? 5 in the first quarter? 7 in the first quarter? Like, because in fairness, like, Paige from about 2 minutes into the second quarter was very poor. Okay, there's nothing there. She was, actually, no, what am I talking about? She was mediocre in the first half. Mediocre. And look, a bad game, but I'm going to be honest. As of right now, 4th in Rookie of the Year race. That being said, like, for the MVP race so far, you're going Fee, Alyssa Thomas. Who else is higher in the MVP race? Like, I'm not putting Ryan Howard after the game she had today just because how she played against the Fever. But, like, I'm not putting Aja there. I think it's Fee. It's Fee thing and the rest. A John Quell, maybe. Put John Quell in 3rd so far this year in the MVP race. And ironically enough, with Caitlin being out of the MVP race, Paige is obviously in the Rookie of the Year race. It's 4 games in. But the Dallas Wings look shocking. And Paige Bueckers, ironically, they're a bad team that look better without her. At the same time, the Indiana Fever were a bad team that looked better without Caitlin Clark early in last season as well. And it's going to be funny, though. Will the Raptor wins from ESPN put Paige Bueckers? Will they say Paige Bueckers is like the 6th best rookie? Or will they not do Raptor wins again? Because I'm not going to lie, like, even I understand that she's so far in her WNBA career, she's taking care of the ball a little bit better than Caitlin Clark. She's not being blitzed as much as Caitlin. She's also not trying to do as much as Caitlin Clark. She's very clearly not trying to do as much on the floor. We can be honest. She's not trying to do as much. And that reminds me of the freaking Connecticut Sun game last year when the Fever bench Caitlin came back and almost won and people were calling for Erica Wheeler to start at the point. I don't think it's going to be that far. I don't think you go that far. And for me, the Dallas Wings, there's one very clear thing, and I don't think it's going to change. I don't think she's I think she's a worse version of Kelsey Mitchell as far as her habits. I don't see how Paige and Arike can coexist. Arike Agumbawale is genuinely looking like one of the worst players in the WNBA right now. I'm not, like, that gets minutes. Like, she is looking like a negative to a team. Like, I don't know how many players in the WNBA have looked worse than Arike so far this year that are playing 25 plus minutes a game. I genuinely don't. And that's the thing where it's like, this is the first time in Arike's career, other than when her and Odyssey Sims just went your turn, my turn. Other than when they just went your turn, my turn. Other than that, like, it's the worst Arike has played. And I don't understand why the team why they're going to be trying to work this out. And I don't think they're going to be able to. So if I was the Dallas Wings, I would have done one of two things. I would have either traded Arike, or I would have traded that number 1. But you can't trade the number 1 just because of the money involved. So yeah, it's a crazy one. It is a crazy one. But anyway, yeah, it is just a mad L game. And honestly, I watch this game and I'm like, you know what? It's hard for young guards. It's hard for young guards, and it's hard for old guards as well. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.